Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our science class. Myself, teacher Babita. Today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is lesson number 2, plants, their structure and function. So now let's see what are the different parts of plants and what work they do to keep the plants alive. Let's quickly take a recap of our learning from the previous classes. In this picture, you can see a brinjal plant. Already in your previous class you must have done the labeling. So we are going to label this brinjal plant, and already you must have drawn the figure in your previous class and labeled it. Now after the labeling of this picture, the picture will look somewhat like this. Yes, the fruits, we have flowers, the plant has leaves, it has stems and also the roots. So this way you have done the labeling of this plant, you must have drawn the figure. So after this recap, let's go towards the next topic, towards the next objective of this lesson, that will be able to identify the different parts of seeds and their functions. So first we are beginning with the seed. Now children, the question I want to ask you about, what is the definition of a seed? Okay, before that, the question arises, from where does a plant come from? From where does a plant come from? Yes, the answer is pretty simple. The plants come from the seeds. Yes, from the seeds the plant gets arise. Now you can see the different types of seeds here, children. Also you must have seen the different seeds in your surrounding. In your day-to-day life you have come across many of the seeds. Now seeds are very important part of a plant and from which the plant grows. Now children, have you ever seen how a plant is growing from the seed? Yes. Now I'm going to show you a video. In this video you will see how a seed is growing into a plant. Now take a look to this video. In this video, a small seed is sown in the soil, and after getting the proper condition, nutrition, water, it grows into a new plant. Now you can see, children, how the root is growing. Actually children, this video is in the fast forward mode because the growth of the plant is very slowly. It is very negligible. You cannot see that. It is taken in a fast forward mode. So children, you can see the growth of the plant here, how it grows. It is a 25 days video. It is shown in the fast forward mode. You can see, children, how it is growing. See how it is growing up. The roots have gone down. The stem is coming upward. Yes children, now you have seen. Now the question arises, what is the definition of a seed? Now a seed is nothing but a small round or oval object produced by a plant and from which a new plant is born. Yes, you can see here, children, in the diagram, a small seed is sown in the soil, and after getting the proper water, nutrients and the favorable condition, this small seed, it will grow into a new plant. And the different stages you can see in the into a new plant. In the video, as you have seen just now, as how a plant is arising from the seed. Now the next part of the plant is, it has main two parts. Sorry, next part is of a seed is, it has two main parts, plumule and radicle. So the seed has two main parts, that is plumule and radicle. Individually we are going to see now what is the plumule and radicle. Now in this diagram you can see the plumule here. What does a plumule mean? What is the definition? And here you can see the radicle. So now in this we can see, understand the definition of plumule. Plumule is a part of a seed that's grow above the ground and forms stem and leaves. As you have seen in the video from a seed, how the plumule is going above the ground and it is forming the stems and the leaves. And the radicle is a part of the seed that grows below the ground and forms the root. The radicle, it goes down and it is forming the roots and it is absorbing the nutrients and water, and it is giving to the plumule, that is to the stem, and it is developing into a new plant. So already in the video you have seen just now. Now children, here we have completed the portion of a seed, how the seed. Let's go towards the next part of the lesson, which is roots. Now here your second objective will be able to identify the different types of roots and their function. What are the different types of roots and what functions they perform? Now the question arises, children, what are roots? Yes, the roots are nothing but they are the part that remains underground. Already in the previous class you must have studied about the roots, children. They are the part of the plant which usually remains underground, and they collect water and minerals from the soil. That is the function of the root. They are collecting the water and minerals from the soil, and it is giving the plant for their growth, to keep the plants alive. Now let's see the different types of roots. The different types of roots are of mainly two types. They are taproot and the fibrous root. Two types of root, that is taproot, and the second one is fibrous roots. Now the first one, the taproot, we are going to see. So here we have two different plants. One is flowering plant and the other one is glass. You can see even the roots are also different. Now the roots which you can see in the flowering plant is different, and the roots of the grass is different. Now the roots of the flowering plant, they are called as taproot, and the root of the grass is called as a fibrous root. Now yes, here you can see the difference of the taproot and the fibrous root. Now individually, children, we are going to see what are the taproots, what are the different structures of the taproots. Now here I am going to show you a diagram of a taproot. Yes, this is the diagram of a taproot, and here the first point in a taproot is, a taproot has a large central and dominant primary root from which the other secondary roots grow laterally. Laterally means in the sideways. Now here in the diagram, children, we can see it has a large central dominant. I am showing with the purple color. Yes, this is a large central dominant primary root, and it goes deep into the ground for the absorbing of water and nutrients, and they are called as primary root. It is a very dominant and it is in the large central portion. Here the green color part which I am showing is a secondary roots. They are called as secondary roots. They grow laterally, they grow sideways, and they also perform the function of absorbing water and minerals and giving to the plants. Also some of the secondary roots, they are having root hairs on them. The second point here is the taproots are long and goes deep into the ground to find water and minerals. They go deep into the ground to find water and minerals. Also, they grow in the area where the groundwater is not easily available. So here we have seen the different structure of the taproot. What are the structure of the taproot? And some of the examples of the taproots are carrot, pine, etc. Also there are some other plants and trees, they are having the taproots. So these are the examples, such as carrot and pine tree, they are having the taproots. So now let's go to the fibrous root. Now children, here in this diagram we can see the fibrous root. Now what's the difference between the fibrous root and the taproot? Now children, fibrous root consists of several thin thread-like roots. Here you can see that several thread-like roots coming out from the plant, and they are not having the primary root or the secondary root like a taproot. All the roots, they are the thread-like and they are arising from the main point. They are very short and do not go deep into the soil. You can see children, they are very short and they are not going deep into the soil, which is also the reason they grow in the regions where the water is available near the ground surface, because they have short roots. Because of the short root, they do not go much deep into the ground. That's why they are growing in the regions where the water is available near the ground surface. Now some of the examples of the fibrous root, you can see grass. You must have uprooted sometime in the grass, and you can see the roots of the grass, how it is fibrous root. Now children, let's take a quick revision for you. Now here 4 types of roots are given. You have to label it, and you cannot write the answer here, but you can say it orally children. And you will label the different types of roots which are shown here in the different plants. Now after labeling it, the first one is a taproot, fibrous root, taproot, fibrous root. Even here the third one is also having fibrous root because of the structure you can see, and the D one, that is last one, is a taproot. So children, here we have seen the different types of roots. Now children, we have seen that different plants have different types of roots. But there are certain plants in nature which has 2 types of root in the same plant, on the same plant. Example, I have shown you the picture of maize plant and sugarcane plant. Here in these 2 type of plants, you can see the 2 types of roots you can see on the same plant. Some of the roots which are growing underground, whereas some roots grow from the stem just above the soil and they penetrate deep into the soil. Such roots are called as adventitious roots. Here in this picture you can see children what are adventitious roots, how they are growing above the soil and they are even penetrating deep into the soil. Now children, the roots, these adventitious roots, beside giving the normal functions, normal function means absorbing the water and minerals from the soil, they perform that function. Apart from that, in additional to those functions, they also give support to the plant, because these type of plants have fibrous roots. And do you know that fibrous roots do not penetrate deep into the soil? You know that. Hence these plants grow very tall and they cannot support, these roots alone cannot support to the plant. Hence to give the extra support to the plant, this adventitious root helps them. It anchors in the soil. Anchoring means to giving the firm grip to the plant. It's going into the soil and giving a firm grip to the plant. Now these peculiarities you have seen, it is growing from the stem just above the ground. They give support to the plant. Also the anchor in the soil. Anchoring means, I have told you, it is giving the firm grip to the plant so that the plant should not bend or should not fall. Also they perform the normal functions such as absorbing the nutrients and water from the soil and giving the nutrients to the plants. So these are called as adventitious roots. There are certain roots which are modified roots. The roots which are modified and they are called as, example is aerial roots. Modified roots are there. Example, I have shown you in this picture one example, that is aerial root. There are other roots, modified roots are also, such as tilt roots or the nematophores. Nematophores means the sucking roots. There are some roots which sucks the nutrients from the air or from the host plant. So here example, I have shown you the aerial roots of a banyan tree. Now a banyan tree you must have already observed, they are growing from the tree, arising from the tree, and they penetrate again back to the soil and they absorbs the nutrients and giving to the plants. They will give to the tree. Also they give additional support to the tree. So here we can see in the example of a banyan tree. Now children, here I am showing you one picture of a banyan tree. This banyan tree is 250 years old, very old tree, and it is situated in the Kolkata in Indian Botanical Garden. It is a very huge tree, and it is 250 years ago, old. And children, what makes this plant to grow such in a huge area, to spread in such a huge area? Yes, children, because of the prop roots, because of the roots which are hanging from the stem. These roots, they go into the soil and gives additional support to the plant, and they perform the functions of absorbing the nutrients and also giving the nutrient to the tree. And this way the tree extends or spreads in such a large area. Now children, we have come to the end of this topic, that is roots. Let's take a quick recap of it. We have seen the taproot, fibrous root, adventitious root and modified roots. We have completed the topic of this root. Children, even I am providing the notes of this lesson related to this topic. Write these notes in your notebook and preserve it. Children, stay home, stay safe. Take care children. Thank you.